Good morning, second graders. Today we are on page 151 of your student journals, and we are on lesson 13. And our goal today, or our objective today, is today I will compare the difference in lengths of two objects using subtraction. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is something a little bit similar but a little bit different. We've been using number lines to help us in the past, and we're going to continue that, but what you're going to notice is they're not going to be providing them for us. So we're going to have to make them. So what we see in our vocabulary is they just remind us that difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. They give us a very basic one, boys and girls. We're not going to see ones that easy today though. Some of ours are going to be a little trickier. And then they give us our steps, and they tell us we're going to measure the two objects using the appropriate tool. We're going to draw a number line and write the longest measure on the end. Okay, so I want us to look at that. Today we're going to actually have to draw our number lines. We have not been doing that yet. They've been giving them to us. Today we're going to start to draw them. But what do they tell us? They say, and write the longest measurement on the end. I'm going to put some stars by that, boys and girls, because that's really, really important that we pay attention to that. And then it says we're going to start on the longest measurement and count back to the shortest measurement. And then we're going to record how much longer and shorter the object is. Okay, so boys and girls, what does this really look like? I'm going to do one problem with you today. And here's my first problem. It says, or my only problem. Erin wants to know how much taller her dog is than Janet's dog. She knows her dog is 34 inches tall and Janet's dog is 22 inches tall. She wants to find the difference between the two heights. Okay, so the difference tells us we're going to be using subtraction. And what are my two things I'm going to be comparing? I don't need a measure today. Like my step one says to measure. I don't need a measure because they told me how long they are. But I know I'm going to be comparing her dog, which is 34 inches, and Janet's dog, which is 22 inches. So since I didn't need a measure, my next step says draw a number line and write the longest measure on the end. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw a number line. And I'm going to write my longest measurement on the end. So my longest one is 34. Then it tells me I need to start on my longest measurement, count back to the shortest. So I'm going to start at 34 and I need to count back to 22. So what would come before 34? 33. 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, and 22. I just had enough room. Okay, so let's count back. How many counts was it back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 counts. It was 12 counts back. That's what I had to do to find that. I had to go 12 counts back to find my answer. So I know that the difference or the subtraction there then would be 12. My difference is 12 is my answer. Or I could be more specific and say my difference is 12 inches. Okay, Now, boys and girls, I'm going to show you another strategy that you could also use. Now this might be a little trickier, but see if this makes sense to you. So on my number line, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my longest measurement, or my largest measurement, which is 34. But when I count back, I'm going to take a big hop. So instead of counting by ones, I'm going to count back by 10. So if you think really long and hard, what would happen if I took 10 away from 34? If I hopped back and took a long hop, and I hopped back 10 instead of hopping one at a time or counting back one at a time, if I counted back 10, I would get 24. Now that doesn't give me enough because I need to get all the way back to 22, but then I could do little counts back and go one little count, two little counts, and I'm there. So my answer, if you see, I did one giant count of 10 and then two little counts of one each. So 10, 11, 12. So that's a strategy as well when my numbers are so different because we're going to have some big numbers. Okay, so boys and girls, let's try this together. We are on your student journal on page, we're in your student journal on page 152. Now, if we look at our first problem, it talks about comparing the length of your foot with a classmate. Unfortunately, we're not at school right now, so we can't do this. So we're just going to cross that problem off, and we are going to go on to our next problem and do this one together. So this says, a boy is 60 inches long. His bed is 75 inches long. How much longer is the bed than the boy? Record the information. Okay, so this one does not tell us, it doesn't say the difference, but I know when it says how much longer, that's my clue that they want me to find the difference or subtract. When I saw those words, how much longer, that's what it told me to do. Okay, so what am I going to do? If I looked at my steps, it says first we need to measure, but we don't have anything to measure. So next it says we're going to draw a number line and write the longest measurement on the end. So I have a measurement of 60 inches and a measurement of 75 inches. So my longest measurement is 75 inches. Okay, so here we go, boys and girls. I'm going to make a number line with my longest measurement on the end. And then my next step says, we're going to, starting on the longest measurement, count back to the shortest. Okay, so I would have 74, 73, 72, 71, 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, and 60. And boy, I barely got it in again. Okay, so how many counts back is that? Let's count. Let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I had 15 counts. Okay, so boys and girls, we're going to try this using our other strategy though, where we take a big count or a big jump or hop. Okay, if you don't have room left here, you could do it at the bottom. You could move your paper up and use this space down here, but let's try it one other way too. So I'm going to still do my number line, and I'm going to still start with my largest number. But if I have to go all the way back to 60, I think I could fit a giant big count in there. So if I counted back 10 and counted back 10, what would I have? What's 10 before 75? So if I'm going to count back 10, I'm going to get 65. Can I count back 10 again? No, because if I counted back 10 again, I would get 55, and I want to stop at 60. So I'm going to now do little counts, just one at a time. 64, 63, 62, 61, and 60. So I did a big count of 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of 1 each. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I still had 15 counts. This just might be a faster way to do it. Okay, so let's answer our question now. The bed is longer by 15 inches because it's our 15 counts. The boy is shorter by 15 inches because of our 15 counts. Okay, so boys and girls, you're going to turn the page and do page 153 today. If you can't do number 1, please do number 2. And you might want to try, because the numbers on number 2 are so different, you might want to try some big counts. All right, have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.